to day 28. Sorry for being a bit late and it's a bit echoey in here. The echo and the reason for being late are both related to the same thing. We are over in Ireland to spend a bit of time with my grandson and my son. We've come all the way over to Ireland to babysit, essentially. They're working today, so we decided we come and see them before Christmas and spend a bit of time over here. Spend a quality time with my grandson, which is great fun. But that means that we're sort of out of where I normally do these things, and I mean, in one of their spare rooms, which is got all their bits of stuff in. I won't show you what all their bits of stuff in, but it's got bits of stuff in, and it's got this lovely stuff that he picked up from China. So that was a nice backdrop, I thought. But basically, we're here in Ireland, and I wanted to talk today about another step in the sort of things you might want to do if you wanted to go fast, and that is to simplify things. Making things too complicated can cause a lot of delays, and that leads me to one of the benefit things behind simplifying is the lean principles of waste. Lean principles suggest that there are 7, probably now about 8 types of waste, but 7 general ones they talk about when they talk about in their lean thinking and lean manufacturing. They talk about transport, which is handoffs, moving one thing to another place and giving it away. They talk about motion, which they talk about taking too much time to do things, going too fast, doing too much motion. They also talk about waiting. Waiting, it sounds a little bit weird, waiting and motion, but that's delays. Things that means that you can't carry on doing what you need to do. Inventory, having too much stuff, having too many things waiting to be done, sitting there is another waste. Defects, things that are wrong, things that are broken, making things that are broken. And then they have 2 things which are over production, which is basically making things too complicated, and over processing, which is again putting a lot of stuff in that way. And they have a final one, which is the underuse or the waste of the actual skill level. So we all have a certain amount of that. We all have skills that we don't use as much as we should do. But basically, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is around that. Is around making sure you have a look at your processes, look at the things that are around you, look at the things that you do, look at the things you create. And this sort of sets me back a little bit in terms of I've talked a lot and some of these principles come across from the agile work I did in product development teams in corporate. And one of the sort of principles around sort of agile is things need to be, you need to be able to change things quickly. You need to be in an environment that is changeable and movable, and you need to be able to experiment quickly. And when you're talking about personal development or personal change, or even some ideas in terms of some of your business ideas, they have that kind of that kind of nature. They're often sort of when you're talking about the things that you do, you can often experiment and change your behavior. You can often you're often in an environment where small changes can make big differences. And this allows you to sort of be of the same sort of ilk as stuff, which is why I talked yesterday. We talked about adaptability and flexibility and retrospective and looking back and stuff, which is very much an agile principle. Today we're talking about another sort of agile principle which we use a lot, which is in terms of simplicity and simplifying things. It's one of my favorite ones, although be it hard for me to actually focus on. It's one of my favorite ones because it's got a great little phrase around when they talked about it. It's the art of maximizing the work not done. And that's very much in line with things like that happen in making sure that you reduce the waste, reduce the things that are not adding any value or even taking value away from the things you do. So what I want you to do is spend a bit of time today to listen to this if you come across this. And by the way, if you do come across this and stumble across this, my name's Mark Webb. I am the founder of A-Game Masterminds, which is an organisation that helps and supports small business owners by giving them access to creating masterminds and other kind of group activities with their peers. There's a lot of energy, a lot of experience, a lot of expertise in their peers. And spend some quality time with them, helping them, supporting them, allows you to build a more resilient and stronger business and grow. Part and parcel of what I'm talking about in terms of these last couple of weeks is around the African proverb about if you want to go far, go together, which is a mastermind. If you want to create a resilient, long-lasting business, a mastermind is a great way of doing it. If you want to go fast, go alone, and this is where going alone, even with a guide, helps. It makes it a lot easier and safer and quicker. And this is what we're talking about today when we talk about making sure that you can simplify things. So, one of the things I wanted you to think about is are there areas in what you do, are there areas in your processes where you could spend a little bit of time simplifying them? You could spend a little bit of time looking about whether there are areas where they're in these 7 areas. Do you spend a bit of time handing over details from one place to another? Do you spend a bit of time stopping a project and starting something else? Do you spend time when you're just waiting for something to happen? What could you be doing to reduce the waiting times? Do you spend any time, have you built things that you haven't used? We have a habit of sometimes building a load of things and not getting around to using them. If you're creating digital products, often you create some really cool digital products, and because you spend a lot of time with this kind of inventory, then you're not sure you've tasted it and tested it in front of people beforehand. Are there bugs in things you deliver that you didn't know, and you should spend a bit of time to reduce it and get rid of some of those bugs? Plus, are you basically overcomplicating things? And the one thing that people forget when they talk about this is, do you have a set of skills, a set of a set of experiences and expertise that you're not leveraging? And this is where it's useful to look at mastermind groups. So, as a bit of a rush today, again, sorry for the echoey nature of the live. I hope you enjoy it and have think a little bit more about it. If you want to know a little bit more about how we can help at A-Game Masterminds, and also if you want to talk about my 30-day challenge, because it's day 28, then do comment and drop me a line, say hi to me in whatever platform you find me in, and we can have a chat and we can talk about how we can help and how we can do things like help you either go far or go fast. So it's A-Game Masterminds, end the 28th day live. I will be coming to you again tomorrow.